cottage. There was an old lady that lived here on the shoe that liked her drink. She had a slate with in the London. It was Captain Chidgey, and he wouldn't let her increase her slate, so she put a curse on him, and he died 2 weeks later. There she is! There she is! No, that lady there is the old woman. Yeah, she won't be buying you a pint in the Pebbles Tavern. Right, an air raid siren. So from the wall, the air raid siren is on the top of that one. It's still on there.
How many rooms have you got now?
One upstairs, kitchen, and that bit down there. There's another room that's sort of on its way.
Yeah. But it's a very interesting building, very interesting. You know, not many straight parts to the roof, is there?
Not many straight parts window bit.
How long have you been living here then?
4 years?
Have that.
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, let Tanya go back to sleep.
I'm not sleeping. I'm awake. I've got my makeup on yet.
So they come down through here. So they decided to create an association of hobblers, and everyone had a fair crack of the money for the pilot and the boat. Right. Here's part of the track left of the old mineral line. The mineral line used to come all the way down from the Brendans, past road water, which we touched upon, and this is where sometimes they used to tip in the mineral yard, sometimes they run along in here and just tip it straight into the boats. The iron ore trade ran out just at the turn of the last century, 1909, something like that. You know, they could get steel and iron ore a lot cheaper than digging out the hills up over the Brendans. It was shipped off over to Wales, to the steel mills and the smelters over there. This was a very, very busy port. WATCHET had the second biggest tidal port in the country at one time. The only port that was bigger than WATCHET at that time was Dover, for a tidal port. The Washer River runs down out through there. It used to run where that rock armouring was, out through there. And they used it to sluice the powers that be. Decided that when they built the marina, that they didn't need to do that anymore, and so the Washer River just carried straight on out to sea. Well, I wish they'd worked on it, and they could have used to flush out the marina, and it would have perhaps not filled up so quickly. HMS Fox was the biggest ship ever to come into WATCHET, and it was 4,260 tons. It was the flagship of the Pacific Fleet, Royal Navy. In 1991, there was a big German ship came in, which was about 2,800 tons, and there was thousands and thousands of people came in to see it dock because they all felt that it was like trying to get a quarter in a pint pot. But she had side screws on the boat. She just turned around easy as wink, moored up over on the East Quay. Probably the biggest object ever to be landed on the docks here. One single object was a 150-ton boiler, it was called Phoenix, for the paper mills, and that was loaded off on the East Quay, and they were really seriously worried that if it was put on the quay might not be able to take the weight, because the quay over there is made with backfill from the railway and ash from the mill. You know, they were kind of keen on recycling back in those days. But this is where the mineral line finished. And they broke up many ships here in WATCHET, a lot of old sailing ships. When steam came to Providence, that was the end of the sailing ships. So a lot of them came in here and were smashed up. But it used the Fox, it took over 3 years to break her down. A lot of the houses in WATCHET, some of the older houses, a lot of their insides are made from the woodwork of HMS Fox. Bridge House in Brendan Road. If you turn over the railway bridge house is facing you. That's got some of the beams from the officers' quarters in that house. And this is it. What puts WATCHET on the map, or one of the things that puts WATCHET on the map. And there was a big storm, and it really flattened this area. The cottage you see there, the white cottage there, used to have a chimney on it, and the storm was so great that the chimney was knocked through the roof of the house, but only about 5 minutes before, because the storm was so bad and the water was coming over the roof, the people frequented the cottage to get out, and the woman grabbed her child, and 5 minutes later the chimney came through the roof. The child would have been killed. There used to be a big shed here, several boats in it. That was made into matchwood, and that ended up the other side of the harbour, floating around. Many small boats were sunk because the swell was so great from the wind, so they hadn't slacked off their mooring ropes. So as the tide went up, the boats went down. Yeah, it was a big storm. Now, if you want a bit of fun on a day when the weather's not good, and the tide's running, these drains here are like little geysers, because the Washford River's coming that way. We've had a lot of rain, the river rises, and the swell goes. The wave in the rivers, they make lovely, and they just shoot up through here. So don't ever park your car in here. It's covered in salt. And they're like whoosh, bong, all up through, and little old faithful in America. That round up there, that cottage there is Yankee Jack's cottage. He was the master mariner that was mentioned on his death in the Times. The only common seaman ever to make the death in the Times newspaper. And he died, I got it in here, I think it's 1943, but I'll check that. But he was a master mariner, and he came to prominence with the shanties that he sung, and I will touch upon him when we get to his statue over there. But that was his house, Yankee Jack's house. He'd have a glass so you could see out and check all the ships. Quite a few of the buildings in WATCHET had the same thing put on their roofs. And I'll tell you another building of that when if we get round far enough, the top of Swain Street. Well, this is the mineral yard. That is the railway station there. And the building next to that again, which is Severn House, was where they used to put people up. It was kind of the hotel for the railway. Well, fix the engines. Yeah, so the engines would go in there and be cleaned up and in repairs. This was the station, so you had a line come through there, then a spur off into the engine house. And this is for the mineral line. But well, you can see those houses there, they've only been built in the last 30 years, so you still have part of the mineral line there. But you know, you'll never be able to re-invoke it because there's houses built on it now. But this is the demonstration house. We'll just go the other side of the road. Right up there. And this is all part of the old original harbour here. This is the old harbour. And they used to go up the river in 60-ton sailing boats and take corn to the mill further up the river. So it was lower than this, and the way this has all been brought up over the years. The lead for the mill to run off the side of this old mill here is to run in over there. So it used to drive over from that side of the building. So yeah, colloquially known as the basin. And if you like fishing and you like mullet, which I don't, it's very early to fish, you catch mullet in the summer here with a bit of twine and a hook, a bit of bread, white cheese. Very difficult to catch because they've got very soft lips. But mullet, WATCHET in 1607. Now we've come out the window, I have to shout so much. And that's why a lot of the cottages to the north of the Market Museum have gone. They were just flattened by the tsunami, which was caused off a landslip off the southern island coast. And the trouble was, because we're like a funnel here, and you know this is the second highest tidal range in the world. The next one's in Newfoundland. There is a range higher, but it's man-made in Japan. But here, this is, you know, we're talking 40 foot. 40 foot from there upwards from the rising tide of all of the tide. So the power's great. Maybe we might get a barrage here one day and use that power. You know, maybe we might have to do it. Anything else in here?
Yeah, there's been photographs of this underwater here,
Yes,
haven't there?
I've been here when this has been full of water.
Yeah.
Not good. But since they put the new wall in, since they put the new wall in over there, it's definitely helped in keeping the sea out. If you're ever here in the winter, late January, February time, go to the top of West Beach Slip, and it's like a firework display. The ground shakes, and the plume of salt spray and the sea and the waves. It's a real fascinating, and it just makes you think out the power of water, why we don't use it more. I'll just show you, there's a picture here of the mineral yard, which we've just come out of. And there's the engine, hang on, turn it over. There's the engine house there, and there's Severn House there, which was the hotel. But this was the main area they used. This was all reclaimed land here, because this was the original harbour. So they reclaimed it, funneled the Washoe River out through there, and that's where the money was, in iron. So, now, there's not many thatched cottages in Watchet. This house here, where Ben Norman used to live, was a thatched cottage, and we have just a couple more up round the corner. But we're now going up through Mill Lane. This is the Star Inn. Any children with me? Yeah, she's old enough not to know. In about the early to late 50s and early 60s, when there was a lot of boats coming in Watchet, this was the, how can I say it? Shop. And once they were oiled here, they were fleeced further up West Street in a house up there. There's the characters, the ladies of the night, one being a young, well, he's dead now, but Janet Treadwell. She wasn't much to look at, but the sailors loved her. They said she had a heart of gold. And that's been quoted in there's a video called, or DVD called Echoes of Watchet, and told by the old stevedores and dockers here. But yes, nice place to go and have food and drink. Watchet's blessed with them. At one stage, is in here, but we had, how many pubs? We had 27 licensed premises in the old town. So, you know, there's about 9 in Market Street. So we're nearly as bad as Bridgewater. I might just turn too many pages at once. Alfred the Great had his mint here. And the Vikings used to come here. They were Anglo-Saxon era. And the Vikings used to come here and raid the mint. And they raided the mint in 918, 977, 988 and 997. And there was more Watchet coins found in Scandinavia than ever has been found in Watchet. So they used to mint silver pennies here for King Alfred the Great. The mint used to be up West Street, and there's a place, not much of it left, called Dawes Castle, and that's allegedly where the mint was. Also, the original church of Watchet was up West Street, but because it fell into the sea, wise men thought, let's build the church further over on the hill, another hill inland, and that's where St. Deck's Church is now. It's the only church called St. Decumans in the whole of Great Britain. He was an Irishman that came over from Wales. He came over in a boat made of cloth, which is like a coracle, and they say Abbey's Cape, but they reckon it was leather, and he towed behind him a cow on a raft. And when he got here, the people took umbrance to him, and they chopped his head off. But he was quick thinking, as you do when your head chopped off. He ran down to the Holy Well. It's called St. Declan's Well, but it was a pagan well. And he splashed a bit of the old magic water, as we still do now for footballers today. And he recovered, and he became St. Declan's of Watchet. So, by the Saxon era, if I can touch upon it, when Harold met his chips at Hastings in 1066 by William the Conqueror, his mother lived near here. And I've got a job to say her name, but it's Gaia Ford Doxon, and her family had the estate, which is of Brompton Regis, which is the hills to ours. You go up straight up from the BBC mast, go straight on up and up, you'll head towards Brompton Regis. But she stayed there for a while, but William the Conqueror, being as he wanted to get rid of her, and she escaped to Watchet and took a boat to Lundy Island and was never seen again. So this is a really, really old part of Watchet. You know, there's bit of infill buildings here and there, but not much has really changed, you know, for hundreds and hundreds of years. Anyway, we'll go up through Mill Lane. We are walking the course of the wheelbarrow race at the moment. Anyway, here we go. These two cottages here are known as Waterloo cottages, but they weren't built in the period of Waterloo. It's just that the way the thatch is made over the windows was a favourable kind of, we've got conservatories on our buildings now. They decided to have a thatch over the window like that, which was the Waterloo style. Like this winter just gone by, with all the rain we had, you know, I think it would have made an Olympic canoeing river. It was really rough and torrid coming down through here. These are two new houses that are being built in the gardens of the British Legion building, fitted in nicely. But there's St Decumans Church up there on the horizon. But we aren't going up there, we won't have enough time. But we're still on the mineral line here. We're not far away from it.
And the West Somerset Railway, as you can no doubt hear.
We're very fortunate here, and we still have sea tractors running. Big independent bakery for quite a few years, and then it went pop because it was a quite a big employer and supplied quite a big area for bread in Watchet and the surrounding areas. The Bond Baker must have finished 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, which is a great shame. And it took only to about 3 years ago for them to get planning permission because it's on a floodplain. Yeah, if you look at those houses there, and those houses, and those houses are lower down than that, but they had no problem building them. And then all said, oh no, you're on a floodplain. But that's why these houses are like they are, they're built up. But it hasn't really flooded through here for, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 years, maybe 100 years. There was once said that they've seen men in rowboats up Anchor Street. Just see it up there, the farm, caution, cattle crossing, and the cows used to be driven up through here, across the top of Swain Street, and this is all still farmland around here, which is gradually being built on. So, and there's a water turbine that was used to mill corn. I don't know how old it is. It's been there a long time. Well, it's just left there. No one really knows what to do with it, but it was the turbine for the mill. And that was the mill there.
So is there any thought to develop it at all?
Yes, there's one man just wanted to put an old people's home in here, but the access at the top of the road is not very good. As a cyclist, it is not very good. When you come round the corner, you take your life in your hands. But so there is a firm trying to develop it. It was the Exmoor Paper Bag Company, which was run by a man called Alan Pearce, and it was another big employer. So, but paper bags fell out of popularity. Guess what? They're coming back now, aren't they? Yeah. You know, with recycling. So, but yeah, it's all a little bit ramshackle in there at the moment, and odd places are used for pottery. And there was a man who used to do fabrics and stuff, but once it all got bought, they were all kind of asked to leave. So.
Is that
WATCHET, no, WATCHET products were here. They had to move out, and they moved up to the Wood Farm up at near Bicknoller. And there was a landlord here. His name was Rodney Blackmore, but everyone called him Arkwright because he never closed. So, you know, he was open 24 hours a day before they changed the licensing laws. You know, those that knew, and what they call lock-ins, this is the last bookmakers that we had in WATCHET closed. Everybody's online now, don't they? But it's a bit of a sore side, sad side. This is one of the original pubs and hostelries of the Court League, the Anchor. So it's, when we go ale tasting now, we're one pub down. Yes, madam?
What's Webster's Walk?
Pardon? Oh, Webster Walk, right. Now there was a chap, Tommy Webster. He come from Manchester, but he made his home in WATCHET. He was a bit of a lively character, was Tommy. And I think he broke out of strange ways once. So that explains a lot, doesn't it? In doing so, he broke his leg. And as being a naughty boy, he was sent out on the Arctic convoys in the Second World War. And he survived that, and he came to live in WATCHET and bring up his children. And he used to frequent the Anchor with his pension and his money. And instead of turning right to go home, he'd turn left and go to the bookies. So it became from there to there, the Webster Walk. And that's why it's that. Yes. And he qualified for one of the medals from the Arctic convoy. And he lived just long enough to get it. So, and we've got Skip Larry in round the back. Coming into another whole part. There used to be here, when WATCHET was fortified, there used to be a ditch here, which was dug. So I've got the white photo here somewhere. So I try to remember all what it's impossible. To stop the Vikings raiding, they dug a ditch, big ditch and an earth bank here. They had the Washwood River, which would protect the old town, this big ditch, and then you were covered by the sea that side. So we're still within the bounds of the old town. I've got the measurements here if I can find it. Turn too many pages again. Yeah, fortified ditch. It was 645 metres long, and it ran from the Washwood River in the west to the north in the sea, to north by the sea. And the line was along Anchor Street, and that was to protect here. That's it. What we're doing for time. This used to be the local undertakers here. Is there a car coming? No. This building here is colloquially still known as the milk bar. Because the milk from the farm down there, they used to make ice cream and butter and cheeses. They were sold from this establishment here. So still colloquially known as the milk bar. This building here, originally it was a cinema, then it became the co-op, and then it became the shirt factory. Whoops, I'm going to get run over here. Whoa!
That's a young driver, isn't it?
And now it's, hello Veronica, and now it's doctor's surgery. We'll just go here a minute. This was the old Urban and District Council chambers here, and this was owned by the Wyndham family. And so what they did when we became just a WATCHET Town Council, they gave us that building there, and that's the council chambers there. But this was a very prestigious kind of place to be. You know, look after it very nicely. There's a stone being put there to celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee.
What a famous sculptor.
Oh, what about a famous sculptor?
We're looking at him.
This is a private house, yeah. But in being a private house, the part of the deal is that they have access to the clock. And it says Queen Elizabeth II. and there's no numbers on it, apart from a set of Roman numerals. And got control from in there, but occasionally you have to go up there and sort it out when it's not behaving itself.